Welcome to the Monday Morning Neighborhood Chat. This is your host, Lee Olson. My special guest today is Kayla Lapine. Good morning, Kayla. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, and it's wonderful having you here too. Today's topic is probably the number one news story for the last 8 months, which is the COVID pandemic. And what I want to do is try to figure out how it's affected you personally as an individual, as a member of our community. What have you been going through, for the last 8 months or so? It's been about 8 months since the shutdowns and restrictions have been in place. With that being said, what has been one of the biggest challenges for you personally this year with those restrictions?
One of my biggest challenges this year with the restrictions due to COVID has probably been school for both me and my children. I am in college right now at Spokane Community College, and when COVID hit, I had to start doing my classes from home online, which was very hard for me because I'm a visual learner, and my kids were also home, and I have a 2-year-old, and so it was almost impossible to do my classes, so I actually had to drop out for a quarter. And I just recently started again, and it's still not easy, and it's still online. So that's probably been my biggest challenge with all of this.
Right. So you have 2 kids, don't you?
Correct, I do.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your 2 kids and how this has affected them?
Okay, I have a 2-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. My 10-year-old daughter is in 5th grade, and she has been having to do school from online, which has been very tough for her because she's a very social butterfly. Also, with having me as her educator hasn't been fun either because we argue a lot now because of it. It's just very difficult. It's a completely different lifestyle to live. My 2-year-old son has been in daycare since he was 8 months old, and him being home has been probably harder on me than it has been for him, just with me being in school and him and his sister fighting constantly and everything like that. It's just been very, very a tough dynamic to get used to.
Right, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So, since travel pretty much has been non-existent since this started, and we have the holidays coming up, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, do you have any plans with your family? Are you staying home, or are you skipping the holidays this year? What's the game plan?
Skipping would be a good idea, but no. So for Halloween, we're going to go ahead and just celebrate like we normally would. It's my 2-year-old's first time to be able to trick or treat, so I'm still going to take them out. Yeah.
Nice.
But my mom and me have talked about maybe doing our Christmas shopping like within the next like month, if not like sooner, because we are afraid that with all the stores and how everything's basically out of stock and gone, that we won't be able to do our Christmas shopping. We are going to stay home. Sometimes my family likes to travel on Christmas and Thanksgiving, but this year we're not going to due to COVID, so that's kind of sad. 2 years ago, my family went to Disneyland on Christmas, and so we were kind of hoping to do that again, but we're not going to be able to. So we're going to plan to just stay home and just keep it our immediate family that lives inside the household and just try to celebrate it within our family, but it will definitely be different.
Right. Okay, great. So at some point, we hope sooner than later, all this is going to go away, things will get back to normal. So when that happens and all the restrictions are gone, what's the first thing you want to do?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about this. So my biggest thing is school, like I had said. I know that sounds silly, but I have struggled with addiction in the past, and so when I start school, it's my number one thing that I can control and that I'm doing with my life now. I'm going to school to be a medical assistant, and so it's very important for me. It's my career path. School was also my kind of getaway. My kids were in school. I was able to go to school and do my own thing, and so I really, really am looking forward to going back to campus and being able to be with my friends and enjoy that college life again.
Right.
Also, some things with my kids. My kids and I like to go out and do things, and we haven't been able to. So we'll definitely be doing that. But
great.
That's probably the most important thing would be school.
Okay, yeah. Again, hopefully sooner than later,
yeah,
right?
right, yeah. Hopefully. It's been a long time coming.
Well, thanks, Kayla. Enjoyed having you. And stay tuned for our next show next Monday morning when we'll have another special guest from our neighborhood. Thank you
for having me.
You're welcome.